So REST is a same kind of, it's like an RPC thing, but a lot fuzzier. It's not as heavily restrained as XML RPC is. And they realized that you could just send unauthenticated REST requests and they would be obeyed. So I don't see anything wrong with a sysadmin framework that will accept unauthenticated RPC commands. Have control of your entire enterprise? I don't know. I mean, seems like an okay bug to me. Anyway, so again, this was patched a while ago, but we were able to dig it up pretty quickly. This next one is very special to me. I'll read it because I realize that in the back of the room, you probably can't read this, but basically this guy is talking about using a site key, which is an extra bit of information that gets hashed into this database password in order to make it so that if the person who's snagging who's broken into your box snags your config information, also needs to go snag the database so that they can run an offline dictionary attack as opposed to just connect to your database. So that it's basically, there's a secret stored somewhere else in the file system and they wouldn't have grabbed it and then they wouldn't be able to access your, quote, stupid user's passwords. And this guy, it's a hell of a comment. Like, it's a big commit statement. The guy's got lots of URLs in there. He's pointing to like the visual guide to cryptography to explain hashing. I mean, this is one of the most verbose and explained commit statements ever, including, needless to say, if you upload this to GitHub or the YouTubes or otherwise place it in public view, you're kind of defeat the whole point. Just to be clear, we downloaded this off of GitHub, not the YouTubes. So it did kind of defeat the whole point. Anyway, there were also some dead ends that we encountered when we were doing this. We're looking for the word security. Again, this is just basically an Uber grep at the moment. And it said the phrase add in security. And I'm like, excellent. I wonder how complicated a commit that was. Like, my eyes got really big. And admittedly, this was yesterday. We were, so we're doing the actual analysis for this yesterday in our room. And it turns out that Logan doesn't have a laptop because, yeah, my fault. I haven't bought him one yet. No, Logan works for me, so. And I haven't bought him a laptop, which kindly reminded me when I said, hey, take your laptop out so we can work. He's like, screw you, buddy, you couldn't buy me one. I'm like, God, I'm a dick. So I give him my laptop and I rip out, oh, here's the douchebag thing I'm about to say. I rip out my iPad and,
yeah. One of two iPads.
One of two iPads in the room, yeah. Yeah, real, you hate me now, it's cool, I'm down with that. Anyway, I take out my iPad and the Evno connection on the laptop's working okay, but the 3G service on the iPad is literally like about 5 minutes after the hour, it's working okay, it's working okay, working okay. About quarter till the hour, I can't get any data through, start sucking, 5 minutes after the hour, works good again, quarter till the hour, suck. So you get this 20 minutes of basically I can't do anything on the 3G service at all. I realized, oh, talks are letting out, and everyone's walking around assuming the DEFCON pose, which is, oh, dude, ran into some dude, okay. And it kills the AT&T network here. So we were digging through and so like I would execute a query and I'd wait like 5 minutes for it to come back. Not because my server sucks, but because the AT&T network sucks. So I see this and I have to wait for like 5 more minutes to uncover how cool this is gonna be. It's 3-day-old code from a project that he just started that no one uses. It's like, shit. He even said, now you have to log in, yay! I was really not happy because we really needed something to say. Anyway, so honestly, we are really at the point where we now have a functional tool. We will have the website up here in a little bit. We have GitHub announced the other day they've reached 1 million repositories in GitHub, which is a pretty lot. I don't know how big SourceForge is, but I mean, between the two of them, they represent a mammoth amount of open source software. And our goal is to find a way around their terms and conditions and get them all. It turns out when you download a lot of them all at once, they cut your ass off. So
4.5 gigs was the cutoff point.
Yeah, 4.5 gigs, 476 projects was our first cutoff, I think.
Yeah, it was a temporary ban on the IP, and then we went back later slowly and got a couple more.
Yeah, it's just slow and steady, like a 70s porno, you know, you just kind of got to work your way into it. It's okay, GitHub. This won't hurt very much at the end.
Like a carrot instead of a cucumber.
Whoa! Holy, wow, vegetable reference. Thank God you weren't close enough for the mic to that to be recorded. So we changed the schema a number of times. Honestly, importing the data isn't that hard right now. It takes a little time, but what we want to do in the long term is tie this directly to the repository so we can get changes as they happen. I cannot help but think that's a pun every time I say it. We want to get more data in there. We want to get more aggressive analytical capability. And honestly, we want to be able to quickly drill down and facilitate the analysis. Because right now when we find something, I still have to go to the Git repository, look at the code manually, and see what's going on, and then go back to the search engine we wrote. And we want to...
one thing I forgot to talk about when I was describing CodeGlame, it actually, we're tracking all the file diffs between versions. So at some point we'll be able to correlate essentially what files change between each version and determine, when these source comments are put in and taken out and moved around and stuff like that.
So really, in conclusion, this is pretty trivial analysis, but I think that there's a lot of hope here, both from a just kind of high comedic value, but also from a security perspective. As we get more and more and more projects in here, we hope to have more results. And honestly, we want to have more advanced analysis so people understand. I mean, there's a lot to be said about the quality of your comments and the quality of the commit statements in open source software. It speaks about the development process that people are using, how good it is. And I think it would be nice to be able to, figure out how good the open source community is doing over the years. Are we doing a good job of documenting our code and making people understand it? Or is it really just a bunch of jackasses saying, fuck, 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 fuck? So we'll be up at codeglame.pontezak.com. You can follow Pontezak on Twitter. We're not trying to be Twitter whores. And just honestly, if you want an announcement, I'm not going to mail you all individually. You can just follow us and we'll tell you when it's ready. Thanks to Brian Denny for last minute support. Brian, are you here? Brian. There he is. Brian, yay, thanks Brian. I called Brian up at like 9 o'clock on Tuesday. I'm like, hey man, what you doing? Why? We've got a big database and no website. Can you help us out? Shit. You knew we shouldn't have answered the phone. Anyway, that's all we got. I think any questions, comments? Mass exodus is plural. All right, we're done. Thanks very much. Have fun, guys.